Quarter 4 of the year is the easiest time to make money on Amazon, but it's also the easiest time to lose it. Every year I see new sellers making the same critical mistakes that wipe out all their profits, kill their cash flow, and sometimes even get their account suspended completely, all before Christmas. I want you guys to be winning with Amazon, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down the 5 deadly sins of Q4 so that you can avoid them. So let's get into it. Now, mistake number 1 to kick this off is something that I've actually been guilty of myself this year, and that is buying seasonal products way too late and in too big of a quantity. So obviously, you know, Halloween costumes in late October or advent calendars in late November, these sort of things sell only at a specific time of the year, and buying them too late means that you're just going to lose out and have to hold them all for another year, which absolutely kills your cash flow. Now, I'm actually guilty of this myself this year because this year I took a little bit of a gamble. I don't usually buy any seasonal products. I just buy stuff that sells well all year round and usually also does a little bit better around Christmas time. Now, unfortunately this year I bought a lot of advent calendars around the end of October, which already is kind of late to be buying them, and there were delays from the supplier as well, meaning a lot of them didn't get sent in till literally about a week ago. So it's already mid-November and my advent calendars are only just checked in. I've also got literally thousands of the bloody things, and I just don't think I'm going to be shifting them. I think I've got way too many, I've bought them way too late, and I'm now just dropping the price on them because I'm like, I just need these gone, because at least now I can shift them for maybe a small loss if I'm lucky, or at least break even. But if I have to hold them all until next year, that's such an opportunity cost, because that money sitting in those advent calendars, those thousands of pounds I've spent on them, is much better spent on something else. In that time, I could use that same cash. Even if I take a small loss on it now, I can use that same cash to flip that money over and over again and probably make double my money back. So even if I lose, say, 20-30% on them this year, it's actually a better thing to do that than kind of just sit on them for a year. It's a massive headache of mine, and really I should be watching my own videos on this. So don't fall into that same trap of buying seasonal stuff too late, because you will live to regret it. Mistake number 2 has got to be misreading big keeper price spikes. So if there's been a bit of a drop off in sellers and the price has just shot up in the past week on a listing, that doesn't mean it's going to stay at that high price. This time of year, there is definitely more of a chance than any other part of the year that this would actually kind of stay high, because sellers are going to have a hard time kind of securing stock in time for the Christmas demand. But the reality is, if something shoots back up in price, it's going to come crashing down just as fast as it went up. You always want to be looking at the last 3 months of keeper data. This is super important, and base your purchases off that last 3 months of data. If it's not profitable for 89 out of the 90 days in the past 90 days, then you probably don't want to be buying it. It's just not going to be able to sell for a profit. What you want to see when you're buying these products is just a really consistent straight line, if possible, or at least if it does zigzag up and down, that it's never too far below your break even. Really, I won't often buy any products where it's been unprofitable in the last 90 days. It's got to be at least break even with a good chance of me selling it for at least 20% ROI. If it hits that kind of target, then I'm usually going to buy it, as long as there's also good sales for that item as well. Now, speaking of sales, that brings me onto mistake number 3. So just like how the price can spike out of nowhere, Q4 demand can see products go from selling barely any units, I'm talking 20 or 30 a month, to literally hundreds, if not thousands of units in a single month. Now, this especially applies when you're buying products in December or the end of December. You've got to be looking out for those sort of patterns where there's been a sudden spike in volume, but you've got to realize that if that volume is not consistent over the past year or so, if it just happens around Christmas, then there's a good chance that after December, all those sales are going to drop off. Usually you see the Q4 hype dying down around the 20th of December, because by that time, anyone sensible has already got their Christmas presents for people, and you will have a few kind of last minute people buying on the 21st, 22nd, etc. But after that point, you're basically done. So if you're buying products around those sort of times, if you see big offers of other retailers clearing their excess stock, just be a little bit cautious and look at the long-term sales history. Mistake number 3 is just being slow. It's just being slow with the prep and the shipping it into Amazon, because this is so important. Unless you use a prep center like the beautiful place behind me, All Things Prep, then your job is only half done once you've actually pressed checkout on the items that you're looking at. Your job is then to stick on the labels for the products. You've then got to send it off to Amazon, and you've got to make sure that it gets checked in with them. Amazon is already working at over their maximum capacity during this Christmas period, so you want to get stuff sent in the day it arrives if you can. Now, personally, I couldn't do this. I have too much going on in my life. I have YouTube videos to film. I've got multiple other businesses. I've got my own Amazon FBA store. I have too many things on my plate to be packing boxes and doing this stuff. And that's why I use a prep center, like all things prep. When stuff arrives here, their staff will instantly check it in and they'll usually get it sent off to Amazon the exact same day it arrives. Even during Q4, they plan well so they don't slow down under pressure. And definitely if you want to take this business seriously, I'd recommend outsourcing the prep side of things. Usually most prep centers only charge about 50p per unit, and so it's well worth the tiny investment that it takes to just have way less stress and way less time consuming, low ROI tasks in your life. Mistake number 4 has got to be just panicking with the items you sell and just tanking the price because you're just a bit worried. Now, with my advent calendar purchases that I was talking about earlier, I would say the right thing for me is to tank the price, because at this point, I know that I've fucked up. I know that I've bought way too many. I know that I've bought them way too late. I have just made a mistake. And sometimes that happens, and sometimes that will be the right decision for you. Now, what you don't want to do is tank the price just because a bunch of other sellers have appeared selling the same item and they're all kind of undercutting each other and basically lowering the price over time because they're trying to get the best price on the listing. This is where new sellers fail 99% of the time with their products. This is where most people come to me and they say, I'm not making any money with Amazon. Why is this happening? It's because you're following everyone else down. You have to bear in mind that anyone sending their stock in after like the 1st of December, it's not going to be checked into Amazon probably until January because of how busy they are. In December, they completely shift from receiving inbound shipments to just shipping customer orders and nothing else. They have to have literally everyone at the warehouse available just doing that. All you've got to do during this time of year is wait for all of those idiots to sell out at their lower prices. And when they have, you can capitalize on being one of the few sellers left on the listing with stock. This is something I'm doing a lot of this quarter. I've loaded up on certain items that I know already sell really well, but are going to sell even better come November and December. And I know that stock is short for these already. The manufacturer isn't making a lot of them. And I know sellers aren't going to be able to get them into Amazon on time. And so I know that the price is already good, but there's no point me selling it now. I can just hold the price even higher, wait a little bit longer and make more profit. Now, mistake number 5 is as important as ever with Amazon FBA. You've got to be checking you're actually eligible to sell the products you're buying. Especially as a new seller, Amazon do this extremely annoying thing called gating. It's basically like an application process to sell certain brands on Amazon. Now, not every brand requires it. You will just be able to sell some brands straight off the bat when you first make your Amazon account, but a lot of the major ones are just going to require you to go through this application process. But don't stress, it's super easy. All you need is an invoice from a trusted store, so you know, no dodgy suppliers or men at the pub, like a proper actual business that's going to give you a VAT invoice. And you just need that VAT invoice to show that you've got 10 units of a product of that brand. It doesn't even have to be the main product you're looking to sell. It can be the cheapest item that brand sells. As long as it's 10 units of an item that brand sells, you're going to get ungated for that item. You just want to be making sure that before you buy stock, you get ungated first, because you don't want to spend, you know, £10,000 on stock and it takes a while to get ungated. Amazon have been real tricky with this as of late. You've had to resubmit stuff, you know, 10 different times just to get an approval. And this process does take some time. You don't want to spend all of your Q4 money on a load of items and then get stuck ungating and then not be able to sell that product until January, where the hype has actually died down a bit. So just make sure you're actually approved to sell the product before you go and sell it. It will save you a whole load of headaches. Now, if you avoid these 5 mistakes, then you will crush Q4. It really is that simple. Be smart and be fast and let the data guide you. Focus on toys, tech, and beauty products, and you'll be making profit in no time. Now, if you want a community of like-minded sellers who can help you analyze these deals and access bots that find the right Q4 products, then join LiveCops today. Our free group gets you started with Amazon, and our paid group gives you the tools to scale past everyone else. There'll be a link down below in the video description to get started. Now go make some profit, and I'll catch you in the next one.